again, book lovers! It's me, Raimskie, and welcome to another book review for 2021. And this time, I will be, hopefully again, briefly talking about or reviewing the very first book in the Feverwake series, or duology rather, which is The Fever King by Victoria Lee. Hope you guys can see it properly. Anyway, so you guys might have noticed or might have been familiar with Victoria Lee because their most famous book right now is A Lesson in Vengeance. But I guess this book is their debut novel, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's get to talking about this book. I must first tell you guys that I really wanted to enjoy this book as much as I wanted to. However, I wasn't able to. It felt like I was just reading this book just for the sake of reading. And the main reason for that is because, I'm going to say it, I spoiled myself. Okay? Big mistake! Huge mistake! I spoiled myself by looking at Wikifan page of this book and knowing the abilities of the characters, about the relationship, and how the ending. And one of the things that spoiled me as well is Webtoons, because this book, or this duology, is also on the Webtoons app. So if you guys are far more interested in reading the comics or web comics itself rather than the books, then just go read the duology on that app, Webtoons. Again, I've been saying it for quite a while now. And I actually went to the last panel of that Webtoon series. And I must tell you guys, it did not do me any justice at all. Because again, that ending spoiled the entire series, if I'm not mistaken. I already know what happened to the antagonist, who the actual antagonist is in this book, and huge mistake on my part. I guess this is the classic saying of, it's not you, it's me. I guess. But what I'm going to talk about is that the things that I like about this book. And one of those things is that the magic system in this book. You see, Fever King is a sci-fi fantasy. Both sci-fi and fantasy, in the sense that people get magic by being infected. It's not going to be inherited from your parents to you in that way. A person must be infected by a virus first before they can become or can acquire magic. However, this virus is so toxic, it's so deadly that only a few people can survive its effects. So, in other words, the ones who actually survive the disease they get from the virus, they are the ones who turns into witchings. And here's the thing. These witchings have a low antibody count in their immune system that magic is actually manifesting through them. So they can acquire certain powers such as telepathy, pyromancy, aquamancy, anything that you can think of. The story goes that a 16-year-old kid is suddenly infected with the virus. That's the starting part of this story. And whose name is actually Noam Alvarado. I think he is half Jewish, half Colombian, I guess. I forgot. I forgot his ethnicity. He and his family got infected by the virus, and he's the only one who survived. So eventually he became a witching. So they also found out that Noam Alvaro has the lowest antibody count out of the witchings that have been produced, I guess. And it is so low that the Minister of Defense of their country got interested in him. So, in other words, the Minister of Defense, whose name is Lehrer, I guess, or Calix Lehrer to be precise, took him in and tutored him privately. And when Lehrer took Noam in his custody, he just can't seem to get his eyes off this boy, Lehrer's adopted son to be precise, who is so just gorgeous, hot, and I think what Noam described him is just beautiful in every other way. In other words, this guy is absolutely seductive in every possible way. And take note, he is dark-skinned, not a white guy, okay? Noam took interest in Dara, and at first, their attitudes or their personalities seemed to be clashing because Dara seemed to be a little bit, how do I describe this? Passive with Noam. And whenever Noam tries his best to greet Dara just dismisses him immediately. Like, he leers at him like he did something bad, and Noam just don't know what it is. So, yeah, there's this romance embedded in this book, and it's a little bit, yeah, for me, because again, I spoiled myself, so I already know that they will get together in the end. But I just wanted to find out how they got together in the end. Okay, that's why I read this book. One of the plots here is that everything that Noam Alvaro thinks what is happening around him is not what it seems. So that's the thing. Because there is usurping of power here, there's political clashing in the story itself, and which is what I not actually interested in, because I have told you guys before that one thing to put me to sleep immediately is to talk about politics, a lot of it. So fortunately didn't dig too much into politics here, and hopefully it won't on the next book or in the next installment. Yes, that is what I'm going to tell you guys without spoiling you that much. Because I did not enjoy this book as much as I wanted to, because I spoiled myself. That's the bottom line. So, yeah, I've said that already. Also, one of the highlights that I liked about this book is its diversity. So, you've got trans people here, you've got all sorts of skin color as well. Also, I almost forgot to say this, but this book is set not in this century, but 100 years later, which is in 2120. Okay? 2120, not 2021. It's 2120. It is set in 2120. 100 years in the future. So, Victoria Lee has that much space to build the story upon, and it was just so fascinating. The only problem is, again, I spoiled myself, which is why I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I wanted to. So with all of these said, I'm going to be rating this book 8 out of 10 stars, because again, it is a good book, but I didn't enjoy it because I spoiled myself. And I'm so sorry, Victoria. But I'm just going to give it 8 out of 10 stars because, again, it's a good book and its magical system is top-notch, if I'm going to say so for myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little book review of mine, even though I was just rambling in this book review. And if you guys did, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't, just give me a thumbs down. And do put your thoughts in the comments section below this video. And do subscribe to my channel if you want. Also, if you guys want to, you could also follow me in all of my social media accounts, which would be Bookstagram, Book Twitter, and Book Talk, which all have the same handle, at Raimskie Reads. Again, this is Raimskie asking you guys to please hunt, discover, and read those queer books. Queer out!